Aries, hello and how are you? Let us go through thou stars for October. All right, we have Cryon. Well, let's just go straight to Venus. Okay, where's Venus going retrograde? This is going to be in Scorpio, and so in your 8th house at home. This could be a deep look into your sexual relationships. You could be tempted to be in a sexual relationship that's taboo. You could be reevaluating your relationship to see if there really is that deep connection there, if it's there for your spiritual soul development. Now we have Pluto going forward in your 10th house. This is an area of career. This is transformation that was stalled from happening as Pluto goes retrograde, and now it goes forward again, and powerfully, along with Saturn going forward in the same sign of your career. So lots of strong, powerful change to structure in your career, how people see you in the world, your legacy type issues, you as a manager, as an architect of your life. And in Libra season, we have our relationships that we are giving a lot of mental thought to, and which ones are throwing us off balance, which relationships are good for our balance and here to transform us. That's what we're here to do, I believe. Okay, we have a full moon. It's going to be in Taurus. This is going to be an opportunity for you to make money. The things that you value, that's a beautiful place to have, especially with Venus being the ruler right now. So this Venus retrograde, I think because we're in Libra season, that's going to take a little bit of the harshness of the Plutonian change in Scorpio and put so it'll be it's going to be like a death, a transformation, but Venus is going to help it to be like a kiss of death. And to death, with all that stuff, that is no longer serving our higher purpose. If you'd like a more extended reading, I invite you to book a reading, astrowake.com. Let's take it to the cards. This very card on the bottom. You gotta let them speak sometimes. Just get out of the way. And so we thank us, our Creator, for this creation and for this ability to communicate with the divine source. So as long as we go back and we reach back to the divine source, that is all good and loving and merciful, our caring parent, then we could be better to our brothers and sisters because we're being better to ourselves. We come back in love. In ancient Egyptian religion, they have Scorpio represented as as Anubis, which is the dog-headed deity in Egyptian religion. He's sitting on one side of the scales, and then he's got Thoth, which is the transcriber, taking notes and taking a recording of your heart on a scale next to a feather. That's how our hearts will get judged as we go into the underworld and the netherworld, but all the time that natural law is in play. Is our hearts, that's why they say you have a heavy heart. There's so much emotional baggage, and it's from an unwillingness and inability to forgive ourselves and to forgive. When you realize that we're co-creators, then it takes, when stuff that's bad that happens, you deflect it and yell at God or another person. But then when you realize that you're a co-creator of what we're experiencing, of this earth, then you're going to want to have more of that attitude of mercy towards it because you're having mercy towards yourself. We are a part of God. That's always been. That always will be. But we have this great opportunity to transform in this flesh. Oh, sacred folly. Okay, the card that's really the Fool card. Upside down, look at him. He's got his heart is full of a feather. Some say he's a fool if he's not paying attention to the sun, the white sun. But when he has that faith, then he can walk ahead assuredly. And obviously, you know about the sun. We're talking about it in Libra season. With this knowledge, you go forward courageously in faith in the universe that you wouldn't set up a bad thing for you unless it's for your higher purpose. So it's all for our higher purpose. And what do we have here? Scales. And service. Ultimately, if you want to be happy, if you have heavy baggage, this means that you have not adopted, I have not adopted, we have not adopted an attitude of service. Mother Teresa, I say this quote a lot. You know, if you want to find yourself, lose yourself into the service of others. Give, and you shall receive. We have the new moon. This is when the sun and the moon come together. It's going to be in Libra on the 15th degree, a decan ruled by Saturn. Hence, Saturn is exalted there. So there he is, the divine judge at his biggest power. The most powerful planet in our physical realm, the material realm, the rule of carbon, Saturn. The hex, the 6-point star, the hexagon, the hex that we got casted into when we hit this carbon form to create from the spirit a soul. And then what has to happen after that is the energy form of it, this flesh that's been grafted onto us. And it's here. It's good that we're here. Although I think we may be fallen angels. We are. We had to be. But oh, blessed fall. Maybe you're an angel that chose to come here to help others as a light worker. Then that fall is like a voluntary fall. It's like we're up looking down on this place. And we go and we meet with our soul group, our spiritual leaders, our ancestors, our family, friends. And we like give each other a pep talk. We look down on earth, we're like, okay, some souls are lost. They've gotten too stuck in the material. They forgot their source, their divine source. Do you think you're going to be able to jump down there and help them out? But you're going to have to take a sip from the same cup of forgetfulness as you do it. So that it's a true act of your free will. So only then is that like, that's how every time we use our free will to do good, we are doing like an act of salvation, like Christ on the cross. I'm just going to leave it there for this. You get a lot to have 2 cards. This is also Earth. So we have Libra with the scales, and then we have it in Earth. Libra is the air. The Earth is the Capricorn energy that we have with Saturn and Pluto there. So there we have a relationship between Libra, where this new moon is happening on the 15th degree, where Saturn rules. And then we're having it go over to 2 cardinal energies. That means making stuff happen. And going forward now. And then there's going to be the sun and the moon are going to meet there. So give birth to an area in your life that has to do with Librarian type stuff. That's the beautiful part about being as an Aries, is that your sun and your rising like are going to very much vibe together because all your houses are in order. You got your houses in order? I mean, you might have overlapping houses and stuff, but ideally, like a balanced Aries is such a great... It's so easy to check your astrology. Good for you. Mercury going through Libra, gonna enter into Scorpio. This is just more mental action to balance it. You're gonna have a little bit more hushpa, a little more wind in your sails. The element that we're lacking is fire. Good. Settle down a little bit and make good decisions. Sometimes you can be so overly like frantic and fiery. It's a good time to slow down a little bit as we get through the active months of spring and summer. Let's meditate more. Yoga. Chiron, I did bring that up first because it backtracked back into your 12th house. So Chiron going to Aries, bam, that could be a hit to like your health. And then it showed you a little bit of that, and then it pulled back and went back into Pisces, into like your dream psychic world to address some unconscious stuff. And then it's going to go forward back again into your active, you are personal, perhaps in your body world. But hopefully with a little forecast of what happened the past 2, 3, 4 months, up until a month ago. Now for the last couple of weeks, when Chiron jumped back into Pisces, take those self-care initiatives so that when Chiron comes back, instead of you being hurt, you'll be healed, and then you could remember that wound from that first kind of arrow, and then use that as a healing strength. That's why there's like power in the wounds of Christ. That's a symbol for your own suffering. There's healing from it. And healing for others, actually. It's this whole like resource. What do they call it? They call it like the merits of the martyrs or the saints. The blood of Christ. Don't get into freaking American Horror Story cannibalism, blood drinking. The dark occult is real, dog.